Here's your 2-card tarot reading from the woods for Monday, the 29th of September, or whatever day this reading happens to find you. Today, would you like your reading from the chipmunk, the fish, or the crow? The chipmunks have been scurrying and squeaking here in the brush and clambering across the rocks. The fish have been rising to take flies and making little rings on the quite still and reflective river. And the crows have been cawing straight across the river and in the woods behind. So chipmunks, fish, probably trout or crows. I will timestamp each reading in the captions. Hi, I'm Brooke of the Woods, and we use these readings to inspire synchronicities between our conscious and subconscious minds, to allow creative meaning making, pattern finding, validation, and perspective shifting to take place. So just notice what feels interesting or empowering in your reading. Beginning with the reading from the chipmunks at the bottom, we have the King of Wands and Temperance reversed. Together, these cards brought to mind the theory of internal family systems. I say that because the King of Wands and reversed Temperance have this tension of two very different personalities. But there's something about these cards that feels more internal. So than an external relationship. But either way, the King of Wands is the card of a coherent sense of self, a feeling of confidence and determination, just a sense of being able to accomplish the things we want to accomplish. And the reversed Temperance is this card of something feeling poisoned or toxic or unpleasant in some way. This could be literally ill health. And so it'd be, King of Wands Temperance would be feeling moving back and forth between being hale and hearty and feeling weak or sick. Or it could describe something more about our, sense of being in the world, feeling energetic and confident, feeling compromised in some way. And I bring up internal family systems because rather than kind of elevating the King of Wands and trying to deny or suppress the reversed Temperance, these cards have an energy of somehow finding a way to relate or engage these two parts. How do we understand ourselves if we're moving back and forth between a sense of being healthy and a sense of being toxic or unwell? Or moving back and forth between a strong sense of confidence and a feeling of being insecure or bad. So these cards might just invite us to develop a little bit more detached perspective between these two kind of personas and see how we can relate to them less judgmentally and more lovingly. Trying to figure out if it's possible that each has their place, their role, their purpose in our lives. All right, the cards for the fish rising in the river, like I said, probably rainbow trout or something, are in the middle. We have the Nine of Cups and reversed Tower. So the Nine of Cups card can show up when we are noticing something in our life that is beginning to look the way we want it to look. When we're hey, this feeling, this relationship, this job, this new routine, whatever it is that we maybe put some time or effort or hope into, we're hey, this is actually looking or feeling the way that I had hoped it would. But the reverse Tower here is almost this simultaneous recognition, hey, this thing that's working out for me might mean that this other thing has to change that I've been really trying to keep as well. Trying to have your cake and eat it too, or something like that. But with the reverse Tower, it's hey, it's a little bit of a, putting you on notice, actually, in order to have more of this Nine of Cups thing, or in order to keep getting this thing we've been wishing for or working for, we are ultimately going to have to acknowledge that that other thing is over with, done, not useful. There goes an eagle flying by. And back to the reverse tower. So you get the idea, like, hey, let's say we're like walking down a path, right? And we're like, my goal on this walk is to have, collect a lot of berries, okay? And we can go to the left or to the right. And we start going to the left, and we see like to the right, oh, there's the river down there. Like I could go swimming. But it's like, if I'm going down the left, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many berries. I love this, my favorite kind of berries. Like I can collect all I want to. And then there's this part of ourselves that is like, no, but we wanted to go swimming. Like we also wanted to go swimming. That possibility is foreclosed if we want to collect the berries. Like we have to give up on the right-hand path and we have to commit to the left path. Okay, that was maybe a weird analogy, but I hope it helped. Cards for the crow are at the top. We have the Sun and Page of Cups, and both are reversed. So these cards feel like, try to put this in a way that makes sense, like they're describing a situation where we are siphoning energy away from a sensitive part of ourselves to fuel some other part of ourselves. The reversed Sun is like a lack of vitality, a lack of energy, a dispiritedness, describes things like that. It can also describe kind of an energy suck or an energy leak where it's draining away. And the Page of Cups reversed, the Page of Cups often symbolizes or indicates our like subtle awareness, our subconscious awareness, a creative kind of dreamy part of ourselves. When it's reversed particularly, it's like this kind of very vulnerable or emotionally raw, kind of insecure part of ourselves. And it's sort of like we are undermining this sensitive or creative or emotional aspect of ourselves because we think that we're better off if we put that energy into, some strong or productive part of ourselves. But that might be damaging to us or limiting to us or kind of removing one of our assets, like this aspect of ourselves that is able to really relate to intuitive things more easily. So maybe there's some way that we can strengthen or return some energy, some attention, love, fuel, fire to this maybe quieter, humbler, but very important energy within.